Hey, Wellness Warrior, how to make Halloween healthy and happy at the same time. Now, we're used to traditional candy, right? Which is essentially a recipe to end up in a coffin, maybe before our time. And I'm going to share with you some little hacks that I've used over the decades, raising my own kids, managing my own thoughts around sugar and chocolate myself. I'm Jackie Almer. Welcome to lowertoxiclife.com. Now, I'm a self-proclaimed chocolate holic. I do not have a sweet tooth other than chocolate, so I'm happy to say that. Most of this candy, nope, none of it appeals to me, except perhaps the Kit Kat bar. That could possibly capture my attention, but Jelly Bellies and suckers and a lot of that never really appealed to me. But I know for most Americans, and certainly American children, where candy is passed out as a reward for almost everything that they do, including good grades, school, snack bags after sporting events when they're little, all of that type thing. I know how sugar and candy can impede our entire lives. And now it's Halloween. And think about it. We have an entire holiday essentially dedicated to the worship, if you will, of candy. And again, I'm not shaming anybody. I get it, especially with the chocolate. So let me give you some quick hacks that you can do for yourself and certainly your children to lower that toxicity, that chemical reaction, and that hit on the brain that ultimately affects the microbiome, their functioning abilities, and their IQ, quite frankly. First and foremost, before you go out trick-or-treating or to any type of celebration where there's going to be sweets, whether it's candy and caramel coated apples to the Halloween candy itself, make sure that you feed them a very nutritious meal first with no processed carbs. No processed carbs. That means no spaghetti and pasta, no white rice, no white potatoes, no flour, no bread, any of that. Make it a lean, healthy protein, preferably a pasture-raised animal protein if that fits into your budget. But if not, that's fine. Ground beef seasoned with a little bit of crunchy cabbage in it, maybe some red peppers and onions that you can dice up really small and hide in there with some tomato sauce, and then maybe make your own pasta with some sliced up zucchini and red peppers. Get your kids involved in that process and they will eat it. If not, then you can maybe do burgers without the bun, right? So you can do ground beef patties and you can serve those over lettuce, drizzle them with something like perhaps balsamic vinegar and olive oil that you've mixed up yourself. Sprinkle just a little bit of feta cheese on it. Serve it like that. Serve it with a little bit of olives on the side. A healthy avocado, because avocados are that healthy fat, but anything that you can do to basically create what we like to call a sieve in the stomach, a filter to where it's going to slow down the processing of that sugar and how quickly it hits their bloodstream, releases insulin, glucose levels rise, all of that good stuff. So just a few of my hacks. Feed them first a healthy, nutritious dinner. Now, the next thing you want to do, I always do, is my little shot of apple cider vinegar. I literally carry this. It's even labeled, says vinegar. I carry this in my purse when I'm going out with a tablespoon of vinegar and some filtered water so I can literally down the shot. And I like to do that about 10 minutes before I consume any carbs, sugary things that are going to hit my bloodstream and again, affect it negatively. I like to call that cloaking your carbs. Remember the Harry Potter cloak? All right. Anyway, so that apple cider vinegar is a great thing. I know kids are going to resist that, but if you just give it to them in shot form and have them down it quickly, boom, they'll be over it in no time. It's just part of the price for indulging in that candy later. Now, I mentioned healthy fats. Also, it can be minimal. I like these flaked organic coconut. I actually buy the chips, but I already have them in my I already have them in my glass jars. So I have this. I haven't transferred this over from the plastic yet, but just chunks of coconut, a good healthy fat. Kids usually like them. They don't have a strong taste, but it's a little bit of fat in there. I already mentioned avocados. Slice up an avocado, have them eat that. All of this ideally about 10 minutes before they consume candy. I mentioned olives. Olives are a great source of healthy fat, some fiber, a little bit of carb, but very minimal. And again, lowers that release in the body. I love MCT oil. You can add this to beverages. So for instance, even, in these colder fall and winter nights, if you want to add this to hot chocolate, it slows down the release of that coffee, tea, hot chocolate, any hot beverages. You can actually just down a teaspoon of this and it helps. And it has basically no taste. You can make a fabulous coconut cream latte. I love to use the Trader Joe's whole coconut cream. It's 30% coconut fat. Very healthy, very good for you. Doesn't take a whole lot, a couple of tablespoons, a little bit of organic coconut water, and you have a fabulous snack. So also nuts. I didn't bring nuts out here, but you know what nuts are. So have them eat just a handful of nuts, maybe a quarter cup of nuts. Consume those before they go out and hit the trail, hit the path, in their little goblin outfits and go trick-or-treating. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Leave me a comment of what your best hacks are. Get the guide over at lowertoxiclife.com. And I would love to have you watch this next video on the power of a capsule meal plan so that you can help yourself plan better, eat better, and stay healthy.